What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Yamcast. This is episode 2. Today we're going to be talking about the new BMW R18 Mega Boxer Cruiser, the Harley Bronx. Then we're going to get into some calls from our Discord boys, see what they have to say. And finally, we're going to wrap it up, as you guys already know, with some wretched bikes from Craigslist, so stay tuned. As is customary, as we're starting off our tradition for the podcast, we will begin with the prayer. For one of the best comments that I've ever gotten. I actually made it into a sticker that I'm putting on my race bike because I loved it so much. So Spite, if you could please read the prayer for today.
It goes as follow. Too slow, bro. I don't like. Please ride fast, bro. Ride in 6th gear.
Ride in 6th gear, guys. Never get out of, you start in 6th gear and you keep going in 6th gear, god damn it. Don't you change gears. All right, now that the prayer is done, let's get into today's topic of the news. It's the BMW R18 Mega Boxer Cruiser.
Yeah, this is kind of an interesting motorcycle that I don't really understand.
I think it caught everyone by surprise. It's just like this huge Mega Boxer Cruiser that BMW made. They've been teasing this thing for a while, and before we even get into it, let's just take a visual kind of inspection of it. So, Spite, as a resident cruiser boy, what are you kind of getting out of this? Look at that exhaust. That's nuts.
I mean, this thing it's very Softail. You know, it looks like a big Harley Softail, something like a Heritage or Softail Standard.
Wonder why they've done that, right?
Yeah, it's such a. They've also got the timeless BMW black and white tank. I mean, that's an old school look there, but look at the engine for a second just on this thing. It's like a giant airplane engine just stuck into the frame. It's absolutely super peculiar.
So yeah, you're getting that really kind of classic BMW black and white color scheme there. I like, is it, I haven't checked the specs too much, but it looks to be air cooled, is that right? I don't see a liquid cooler on there, or is that it at the bottom? There's an oil cooler.
That'll be your oil cooler.
Yeah.
It does look air cooled just on initial inspection. I mean, it's also a shaft drive. It's got spoked wheels, definitely an old school look. And you know how I know they're really gunning for Harley here? Look at where the turn signals are. Right on the handlebars. That's where Harley puts their turn signals on their big boy bikes.
Yep. To me, it seems like BMW wants a piece of that flagship American cruiser buyer market.
Yeah.
Which is a market that's doing this, So it's weird that they're like, we're going to go after those people. I guess the margins must be really good. It's a high dollar motorcycle, costs $19,000. But yeah, it was funny, before we jumped on, we were talking about how this bike and the Fat Bob are so similar in so many ways, right?
Yeah. I mean, so for those of you who are going to be like, this is a Harley, it's not the same as a BMW. They really are. I mean, the 114 is just north of 1,800 cc's.
The price is similar too,
right? The price is similar. I mean, they're both, this one's like 19 and a half. The Fat Bob's 18.99. It's $1,000 more for a color.
Yeah.
It's got ABS as standard. So, I mean, it's got the same things that this bike has.
Yeah.
The only real difference is the Fat Bob weighs less, which is crazy to think that a Harley is going to weigh less than a European, well-made motorcycle, right?
Yeah. So really quick, we were talking about the looks, and we got to bring this photo up of the main. Look at that.
That's just so wrong.
That is insane, man. It's insane that they made a bike that it doesn't look right. You know what I mean? It just doesn't look right. You're like, because if you block out the bottom half of it, you're like, oh, cool, motorcycle. You block out the bottom half of it, and you're like, what the f is going on there?
I mean, they get away with these stupid boxer engines in the R1200s because the thing's this wide.
Yeah.
And
that actually works decently well for off-road because it's like, oh, well, if it gets on its side on a nice little gravel road, it's easier to pick up and that kind of stuff. Yeah. You can make the argument for it. It's hard to make the argument for this,
But just looking at it in this photo, I mean, it looks nice.
It's a well-built, pretty motorcycle.
But the engine is just, those, I really do not get the opposed twins.
I would love to have sat down at the meeting when they started thinking about this and someone was like, we need to make a Mega Boxer Cruiser. It's like, who said anything about wanting that, This to me is going to be problematic for the American buyer because, okay, it's like, let's say that's like, okay, American buyers are elastic in the sense that like, oh, I'll get an import bike, but it has to be from Europe. Okay, cool. This is your import bike, your Rocket 3s, your Diablos, that kind of stuff, right? This isn't going to make that classic cruiser sound. This is a really oddball niche kind of bike. You know, it's really bizarre.
And I mean, sure, the article says Vance and Hines has pipes for it, but I mean, if we can just look at the size of that megaphone it's got on there.
Man.
I mean, this is in the bobber trim. I mean, I get it looks old. It really does look like an old school original cruiser bike from way back in the day. But bikes have come a long way since then. You know, I don't necessarily enjoy the idea of the bobber as my one and only cruiser bike.
I also feel like BMW got into the bobber trend, if they even wanted to, like kind of late. That was like a 2017 thing that people were really crazy about the bobbers. Triumph made their standard, like their factory bobber.
Indian made their Scout a bobber.
Yeah, everyone made a bobber. It's like BMW came to the party kind of late with like a really odd take on the bobber. The one big thing about this bike too that you think about the cruiser market, it has tons of aftermarket stuff, right? You can kind of make this, and they're already like trying to really make that known to people. It's like, hey, you can take your BMW R18 and turn it into whatever you want. You can make a 750-pound bobber. You can make a 750-pound ape hanger, right? Like it'll still be this crazy bike, but you can kind of tweak it to be your own.
Let me see if
it's a pretty thing, right? I mean, look at that.
And, they've got RSD Roland Sands designs on the head there, but, RSD are really high dollar parts. They're great. They're awesome. A lot of Harley guys will use them as power parts for, like, dirt builds or, just in general look great.
Yeah.
But one, like, tracker pipe for the high under the leg pipe for a Harley Davidson costs like $800.
Yeah.
And that's you're talking about real money. And that
well, again, so talking about real money, right? Like, who's the core audience for this? We were talking about this earlier. It's doctors and dentists, right?
Absolutely.
It's people who want to feel like a badass on the weekends, and maybe they missed out on their rebellious phase when they were younger, and now they're like, oh, I'm just gonna buy my way into looking like a badass on my BMW, right? Maybe this is the brand loyal dentist who has the R1250 GS, and he's like, I could use one of these in my stable.
But then is the dentist then going to get rid of the 1250 GS to buy this?
Well, he has a 3-car garage, so he doesn't need to get rid of one, right? That's what I think in my mind.
But like when I think of, I think of doctors and dentists as buying the R1250 GS or a big Harley.
Yeah.
And I think they fall into that because of the mentality that surrounds these brands, right? So everybody knows GS, long way round, Ewan and Charlie, that kind of thing.
Gonna hit Dakar, gonna do this, gonna do that. Yeah.
I don't see that mentality living or vibing with this kind of cruiser. In the same sense that I don't see the Harley vibe with this kind of cruiser either. I mean, when you think of Harley, it's big, loud, American V-twin.
Yeah.
And that's not this.
Yeah.
I see that they're trying to go for that Softail standard, Fat Bob, FXDR kind of feel.
Yeah.
But when you want a Harley, you want a Harley.
Yeah.
And it's just, there really is no substitute. So I'm wondering who the buyer is.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a small market segment and an even smaller sub-market segment of that segment that's going to buy this kind of bike. I don't know how many they're going to make, but I would be shocked if they sold all of them, honestly. Like, I don't think it's going to sell very well. Mostly because this isn't even a muscle cruiser. It's much more of a style over substance kind of bike. It doesn't compete with the Rocket 3. It doesn't compete with the Diablo.
I mean, this makes let's see if we can find the power figures here.
I believe off the top of my head, it's 90-something horsepower and 116 foot-pounds of torque. Right?
91 horsepower, 116 foot-pounds of torque.
Guys, these numbers, right in my dome, right in there.
And it's a bike that weighs like 750 pounds with a 244-pound engine.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not enough horsepower.
It's not enough torque, I don't think.
I've got it open here. This is the M109R Boss. I just talked about it in the Muscle Cruiser video. it makes 118 foot-pounds of torque and 128 horsepower from an engine that's actually smaller, and it weighs the same. And it costs $15,000.
Yeah.
But then again, it's a Suzuki.
It's a Suzuki. It looks like every other cruiser. The BMW does have a real esoteric kind of like wow factor to it. If you know anything about bikes and you saw this going down the street, you'd be like, what on earth is that thing?
I mean, just looking at this lineup of the different ways they have it built out, you've got the bobber with the...
Yeah, zoom in on each of them so we can kind of see them here.
So we've got, over here in the corner, we've got the bobber with the long swept back, just cruiser vibe. You've got kind of a standard, normal human being road bike.
You got the one in the back with the tail, right? With the seat.
That one I don't understand. That's the one that I don't get, because that scoop is to hold your ass in place when you really give it some gas.
Yeah.
It is making 111-ish foot-pounds of torque, but that's not really going to throw you off.
My favorite's the ape hanger one.
Yeah, and I love how this one has big old blacked out cast wheels and ape hangers up to here.
Yeah. I honestly feel like it's a sin to put ape hangers on a BMW. I don't know, it doesn't feel right to me. Like that's such like an American easy rider type of thing to do. Again,
this is just, it doesn't jive with the, worldview of a BMW.
Yeah, it's a really bizarre thing for them to do. I don't know about this bike. I mean, if I were able to get to ride one, would love to take a rip on one. But I think I would walk away from it being like, I don't really get this thing, Because like I said, Rocket 3, it's miles per gallon, and it's a ridiculous motorcycle. The Diablo, same thing. It has that Tesla Tretta engine. It's insane, right? Even like the Harley Fat Bob, you're like, oh, this is like a classic piece of American motorcycling. What is this thing?
Yeah. I mean, again, it looks very classic. It will be head turning to the people who understand it.
Yeah.
But beyond that, it's just, I don't see this converting a lot of people, to be honest.
I don't think they're going to sell very many of them. Yeah, that's the thing. R18 BMW, interesting bike. I think there's a lot to say about it, but let's move on to our next bit of news, and that is
Harley Davidson Bronx concepts.
Yes. So this is actually really interesting that Harley's moving in this direction. Spite, you want to talk us through what's going on here?
Yeah, so basically, everybody knows the Bronx is coming. It's this new Revolution Max 975 naked bike, putting down sport bike power, because they haven't claimed it yet, I don't believe.
Harley said it. What is it on the website? They're redefining the middleweight.
Okay,
let's pull that up.
Let's read this, because this is a prime piece here. Fight Club. Introducing the Harley Davidson Bronx, an apologetic attitude with the performance necessary to back it up. Torque, handling, and technology in a modern package. Middleweight has a new meaning.
Middleweight has a new meaning. Yes, Harley, yes, middleweight has a new meaning when you make a bike that's probably going to weigh 500 something pounds, cost 15 grand, and only make like 110 horsepower. Yes, that is a new meaning for middleweights. It's so hard to not be mean to Harley when they try to do sporty things.
Yep.
Because you're just like, you're not going to get it right. For like 5 or 6 different reasons, you're going to mess this up somehow. Like either it's going to be too heavy, or it's going to be too expensive, or both, right? But I think they're moving in the right direction with this, because if they take that Harley Bronx platform and they make flat trackers, they make cafe bikes, they make, what else could they make? That's just like the standard version. I'm trying to think of any, they could make a middleweight Pan America Adventure if they really wanted to go balls out, right?
I mean, it all comes down to the engine. So what Harley does is they make these really badass big old engines, and then they put them in everything.
Yeah.
Like the Fat Bob and the FXDR share the same engine. Heritage Line shares those same like 107 or 114 platform. And so if they can really nail this Revolution Max, 60-degree liquid cooled, whatever it is, they really need to make it right and make it perform, give it power, and then they can put it wherever.
Yeah.
Again, Yamaha makes the FZ07 platform, which makes like 689 cc's.
Yeah, something like that.
And so they've taken that engine, perfected it, and then put it in a bunch of different stuff.
Yeah, at this point, I think they put it in 5 different bikes. You have the FZ07, the MT07, you have the XSR 700, you have the Tracer 700, which is like their sport touring. You have the Tenere 700. So they've just taken that bike and or that engine and just put it in all kinds of different platforms, right?
Yeah, and that's something that Harley could do with this. They could make, if that 1250 is really kind of a big screaming engine, they could redefine the V-Rod with it.
Yeah.
They could, and you see here, I see a lot of the street rod in this motorcycle. They could really make the street rod right, and you can make 2 variants. You make the small variant and the big variant. You make.
They could honestly take a page out of Ducati's Scrambler lineup and just make 11 different versions of this bike. That like you said, you take the 975cc and the 1250cc. That's what it is for the bigger one, Harley, right? You make a full throttle version for the 1250 for this bike. You make a desert sled type of bike with it, right? With the 975cc, like more adventure-y. If they really wanted to make everyone go nuts, they'd make like a supermoto variant of it. Are they ever going to do that? No, they're not. But they could. That's the thing, right?
I would love to see Harley go blow for blow with the Hypermotard.
That would be interesting. Or an FTR 1200 competitor, right? They could do that, no problem. And they've already proven that bike sells over at Indian. So it's like, make a competitor to that.
Exactly.
You have flat track history. Do it.
I think Harley, if they nail this, if they really execute on this platform, can do a lot of very cool things and really give people a reason to want a Harley.
Yeah.
What would be really fun, it would blow people off the wall, is if they just put this in a fully fared package.
Oh my God,
made a Harley race bike.
If they made like this is a deep cut, but I saw it on Iconic Motorbikes the other day. Harley made back in like the 80s to compete in some random European homologated race. I think it's the VTR 1000R. If they brought something like that back in like that kind of package, people would go nuts. They'd be like, I can't believe it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at that point, those bikes at that point in that market are so competitive and so highly iterated upon and tuned, and if you're going up against something like an R1, you better come correct. You know what I mean?
But let's put aside racing aspect, but just for the people who want the American sport bike, they could make something like that.
Eric Buell would literally cry himself to sleep every night if Harley did that, dude. Like, if Harley came back and they were like, oh, we made a fully fared bike with the V2, he'd be like, go f*** yourselves. That would be so sad, man. Poor Eric Buell.
But
they could do it though. It's the whole platform's right there. Do they have dual shocks in the rear?
Yeah, just like the street rod.
Look at this thing. What is this? The flat tracker concept?
Yup.
That's what I'm saying, dude. They could do a lot of interesting bikes.
And it's just all it takes is follow through.
Yeah.
They need to commit and they need to follow through on it.
They do. Yeah. I would kill to see something like that, like a full, and that to me would put Harley closer to a full line manufacturer. Something more like Triumph, where it's like they make a lot of different kinds of bikes. They don't make like literally everything like a Honda or Yamaha, where it's like you could buy a 50cc pit bike or a super bike, like all the way in between. But they could do something wider ranging. I would love to see Harley become like a Triumph style brand, or like they make a sporty bike, they make cruisers, they make an adventure bike, But right now it's like they're so pigeonholed with the cruiser thing. That's it. That's really all they do.
And I was talking with a couple of people on the Discord the other day. I really do believe that Harley is afraid of their core customer.
Totally.
I think they're very afraid of the, I don't want to say boomer demographic, but
it kind of is though.
It unfortunately, yeah. I think they're desperately afraid of pissing off the CVO guys.
Yeah.
And they just need to just nut up. As long as they make these big ass cruisers, who cares what those guys think?
They'll
still
keep
have
buying
their
them.
bike. Yeah.
They'll keep buying them.
Make something that will cause you to want a Harley, or the entire Discord to want to be like, oh shit, that Harley looks awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that flat tracker looks pretty cool, that could be something pretty desirable. But yeah, to your point, it's like Yamaha doesn't lose sleep at night whenever they make the XSR 700 versus the R1. They know that those are two completely different people, and they're not going to yeah, to your point, like, I don't know why Harley's so afraid of their core demographic sometimes. It'd be like, oh, they're not going to buy our bikes anymore. They're going to start talking shit about us. Let them talk shit. You have to evolve because literally your customer base is dying right now, and you're not replacing them with new people. And then they know that, and that's why they're doing this kind of stuff and e-bikes and all kinds of stuff, just because it's, at Harley, probably a pretty scary time to be Harley, honestly.
I'd really like to see Harley take some risks. It's now is the time for them to take risks.
I think so. Yeah, they don't have much to lose, honestly. Yeah. All right, guys, that is the news section, so let's head on over to the call-in section of the show. Alrighty, guys, we are now taking live calls from our Discord. Hopefully we get someone fun to ask us a couple questions or concerns about motorcycles. Let's see what happens. We're just live now.
I see Taco's already. He's just like waiting, ready to go.
He's ready to go, yeah.
Bringing that chaotic energy.
Here it is.
Oh boy, here we go.
Hey, you are on the Yammie Noob podcast. Who are we speaking to?
This is Taco.
Taco, what's up, man? Finally got a hold of you.
Daddy, you never call, you never talk to Mom. What's going on?
I know, I went out for cigarettes all that time ago. I'm still not back, but I'll come back someday, champ. Don't worry.
Oh, good. I miss you, Daddy. I just going to see what you guys are feeling about on dirt stuff. What you guys are still like really into dirt. You know, will you do that thing, come back and dedicate dirt bike?
Yeah, I get that question a lot lately, and I feel like you're starting to get a little bit too, because I've been fooling around with the Scrambler off-road for a little bit now, and I really do want to get like a true blue dedicated dirt bike, just because everyone that I've spoken to who does do that say that they're so different from even dual sports, and they're so much more lightweight and fun. I definitely want to get one. Spite, what do you think?
I mean, we went, played around in a little dirt lot few days ago, I think.
Yeah, where my rear brake stopped working on the sled, which is the most Ducati thing to happen ever.
And that was a ton of fun. It was my first time really playing in the dirt. Like, I have a tiny dirt lot by my apartment, but it was a lot of fun, and I was really pleased with how the DRZ did.
Yeah.
And how I was able to do it on it without, flipping myself into a giant pile of rocks.
I think it says a lot about the DRZ of how confident you were on it. You were just having fun and goofing around, and yeah, it was really cool.
I mean, even in SM trim, the DRZ's fairly confident.
Yeah. Taco, you have a CRF 250L, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel about that on the dirt? Well, it's your first bike, though, right?
Yeah, it was my first bike. Me and Ducan, we went out to Hidden Falls a while back, and at first I was a little skittish because I hadn't really ridden that long. I'd never ridden off-road. After I get over just the fear of falling, because I wore elbow pads and knee pads, a helmet, all that kind of stuff, and I fell my first time, I was like, unless I do something really stupid, I'm not going to get hurt.
No, not really, yeah. And it's relatively soft, and if you're wearing your padding, it's pretty good, yeah.
So, it was a lot of fun. I definitely need to upgrade the suspension the most.
Really?
Oh yeah, the CRF 250L suspension is pretty trash.
Huh.
Yeah.
And I'm a bit of a thick boy, so yeah, just we went over some small ledges, and I felt like it was bottoming out. So.
Well, just remember this: salads are cheaper than new suspension and carbon fiber. So, you know what? Maybe eat a couple salads, and then your bike will start working better.
Well, I like tacos and pizza.
That's true. Yeah, those are very good. Yeah. All right, man. It was good talking to you. Anything else you want to let the boys know?
No, shout out to all the Discord boys.
All the Discords, all of our sweet children.
All of them.
All of them. Let's see if we can get another one on the line. Thanks for calling, man. I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, man.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, I'm so glad that we were able to reach Taco in this time.
Yep.
So glad he's doing well.
It is interesting actually spending some time in the dirt after owning the DRZ and just playing with it on the street.
Oh, yeah.
It's a completely different bike, but you understand why it is the way it is after spending time off-road with it. Mm-hmm. Even though it has the SM wheels on there and I don't have the most aggressive dirt tires.
The setup is still there though. Yeah. You're still getting that beefy suspension, the ground clearance. Yeah.
I mean, I was just bombing my way through some of that stuff and completely oblivious to the fact that I was about to eat it, but the bike was like, I'm going to carry you through.
Yeah, that was the same feeling I had when I took the DRZ 400S that we had to Hidden Falls after doing it with the Scrambler. I was like, this is so easy. I was like, it just does anything. You just smash through anything, it just does it. Mm-hmm. And then everyone keeps keeps telling me, it's like, oh, but the DRZ sucks and is a heavy pig, you need a real dirt bike. I'm like, how much better can they get? Like, this is crazy. But it's probably like if you took the VFR out to track and then you took like my Race Prep Daytona, you'd be like, holy shit. Like, this is a whole other thing. So I could definitely see that. But it is funny because the off-road market is still like, it's like, oh, competition ready. Like, oh, like you're gonna smash the hair scrambles and, you know, do MX and all this other stuff. But I just like goofing around off-road. I don't really want to do like...
Yeah, I mean, it's just meant to be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I get my like competition fix at the track. Hello, this is Yammie. You are on the podcast. Who are we speaking to?
This is your boy, Dirt Brat.
Oh, what's up, man? How's it going?
Going well. How are you?
Good, good. We were just talking about off-roading, and it seems like you've been summoned to speak to us about that, maybe.
All right, then. That works. That works.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of interested to know what you guys think about how off-road riding helps your street and track riding.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah. So I think I can kind of speak to this. If I remember correctly, you're like an off-road only rider, right?
For the most part. I bought my first CBR about this time last year.
Yeah. I would say that it's so interesting because when you're riding off-road, and I'm sure you can attest to this, you just learn so much about what the bike does under like low traction conditions. And that way, whenever it happens on pavement, the margin for error is like way smaller. Like if you're getting a slide on pavement, like that's gonna be pretty nasty. But if you're used to how that feels off-road, it's not gonna feel scary. So I think it helps quite a bit to kind of practice and get that feeling off-road. So then if your bike slides on the street, it doesn't feel that crazy. I remember when I first slid on pavement before I did any off-road stuff, it was very frightening. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. But now that you know, off-road, that happens literally all the time, it doesn't really feel that scary. Despite,
I mean, yeah, again, super limited experience off-road, but I've done a lot of silly things on the road. So I know what it generally feels like, but to be able to, you know, get your back tire broken loose under heavy acceleration in the dirt and do kind of like a rolling burnout, you really do get to feel the mechanics of what's happening underneath you. Mm-hmm. Whereas when you do that on the street, again, your margin for error is so limited. There's, you know, you're right on a razor's edge of doing what you're doing just fine and completely eating it.
Yeah. What's interesting is when you're on track as well, like you're like slides happen a lot more often than on street, and they don't feel that scary after you get used to that as well. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, if you're coming in hot in a corner and you just start feeling that rear slide, you just kind of lighten everything up, let it do it, and then just kind of get back on the gas and let it keep moving. And I think it's a big reason why a lot of GP guys practice on the off season on MX, and they practice flat track. Like Rossi has like his like flat track compound. Have you seen that thing?
He's got a giant ranch.
It's unbelievable. Yeah. So yeah, dirt prep. I think, you know, off-roading it can only help unless you hit a tree and then it hurts.
True. Which we try to avoid that.
Yeah.
But that actually brings up another point that I thought has helped, where it's helped me a lot, is target fixation. That's real off-road as well.
I'd say it's more real off-road.
Yeah.
If you're staring at a tree, you're probably going to hit it.
Yeah, that's my only thing about off-roading is, you know, when I'm on track, you know, if you have an incident, you slide out and it's pretty painless, honestly. You know, your hip might get a little bruised. But I've seen some pretty nasty stuff off-road. A buddy of mine is like a competition rider off-road, and he does like hair scrambles and that kind of stuff. And he messed up his leg pretty bad the other year, and he's been off the bike for quite some time. So I've seen you guys take some hard slams off-road, man.
It happens occasionally, but, you know, you learn to deal with it just like anything else.
Yeah. So you were saying on Discord the other day that I need to try like a true blue dirt bike. So I was curious to hear from your opinion, what is the biggest difference between like a honest to God, like, you know, 200-pound dirt bike versus like a dual sport? What are the big differences?
To me, I guess feel. The whole thing, though, as far as how the throttle feels, how your suspension feels, you know, because everything's lighter, the bike is much easier. It's much easier to turn and twist and get around obstacles and over things. Whereas, you know, even a DRZ 400 is just going to feel a little muted compared to a competition dirt bike. your suspension's not going to work as well. You know, it's going to be heavy. It's going to be harder to control. And your throttle response, it just isn't quite the same.
Yeah, it's nuts because that's how I felt going from the Scrambler to the DRZ. I was like, oh my God, the DRZ is amazing. I was like, you can do anything with this bike.
And it's even greater when you go to a, dirt-specific bike.
Yeah.
That's all it's built for.
Yeah, I'm dying to try one out. It'd be great.
Just like your Daytona is just a straight track weapon.
Yep.
Same thing for dirt.
Yeah. Well, hey, man, I appreciate you calling. We'll catch you up on the Discord and have a good one.
Yes, sir. You too.
Later, man. I think that would be a lot of fun is if we, like the day I buy like a little 250 dirt bike, like we both go out with it and like as a kind of like our first, like, losing our true dirt virginities with it, we'll take it up to Hidden Falls or something and just like play around with it and see how it feels compared to like the DRZs and that kind of stuff. We could even do like a 3-layer, like we could bring the Scrambler, your DRZ, and then like the dirt bike to be like, what's the difference between all of these? That could be a cool video.
That actually, that would be, I mean, no one will watch it, but it'd be fun to produce.
Yeah. It's so frustrating. Like even the Street Triple on Track video, that only got like 15,000 hits.
Yeah, that one didn't do very well at all.
And then we put up like a, top 7 naked bikes, like 50,000 hits the first day. I'm like, and then people are like, why don't you put more track videos? Why don't you do more dirt videos? It's like, nobody watches them. Nobody watches these videos.
Oh, here we go.
What is going on? You're on the Yammie podcast. Who are we speaking to?
This is Castro. How you doing, Yam?
Castro, what's up, man? How's it going?
I'm doing good in this quarantine madness.
How's the weather there in Florida?
Oh, always nice. I may run out later on, but it's good overall.
Yeah, you should, man. It's miserable here today in Austin. It's like 46 degrees and raining for some reason.
No, you can keep that.
Yeah. So what can we help you with, or did you have anything to talk about?
So how are people handling being inside and not being able to ride? Do you have any suggestions for like being safe, running out for a little bit or anything in that regard?
Spite, you want to take that one?
Sure, yeah. The first thing is, if you don't have to, don't go out, right? Next, if you are going to go out and you're going to ride your bike, you really want to, if you ride at 5/10 or something on the street, back it down to like 3/10 or 2/10. Because right now what you don't want to do is you don't want to get hurt because you don't want to choke up any medical resources that you don't need to. And then if you really want to get some of your like demons out while you want to ride, go work on your bike. I mean, I know you're a huge proponent of keeping your bike spotless.
It looks brand new. It's unbelievable. Yeah.
But I mean, this is now a great time for you to go out, get some cleaning equipment, clean your chain, do some basic maintenance, lube your cables, all that good stuff.
Maybe a mod you've been thinking about doing that you just want to slap on. Now is the good time to do it because everyone's kind of holed up.
Yeah. So if you can get out and work on your bike, it's not the same as riding it, but it'll allow you to interact with your motorcycle.
And I'd say one thing to do as well is if you got to go run an errand, honestly, you can make the case for taking the bike versus a car because you're going to be wearing all your gear, you're going to be wearing a glove. Like it's actually quite a bit safer in a lot of ways to go to a gas station and pick up what you need wearing that gear. So I'm a big proponent if you got to go run some errands, you might as well take the bike because that's a good way to do it. But yeah, I'm definitely, I mean, even for me, like I'm limiting a lot of my kind of joy rides and time on the bike right now, which really sucks, but it's the right thing to do, yeah.
No, that's responsible, and that makes sense. That makes sense.
And you know what? If working on the bike isn't working for you, if all that cleaning and stuff, you can always just furiously masturbate. It's a good solution to nearly all of life's problems. It's a good stress relief. And now we just got demonetized, so awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, listen to this. Because we're in quarantine for these 30 days, I was thinking about shaving my head bald. Because, I have 30 days I'm going to be stuck inside. So I want to see what I look like as a yam.
Yeah, do it. Why not? Yeah, do some Yammie Noob cosplay for me and post it up. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Well, thanks for calling, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, not a problem. Hey, thanks for having me. I enjoy being a part of this community. It's awesome.
Yeah, thanks, man. All right, take it easy.
No problem. Yep.
Later.
Bye.
Casher's always cool to have on, man. That guy's really cool. He's always seems like the cool uncle that you want around, you know, like he's always just doing cool shit. Yeah, really nice guy.
And seriously, for all you out there, he has a immaculate XR7.
I'm sure we can find a photo of it and post it up. Yeah.
It's freaking immaculate. Like he goes in there with like a toothbrush. It's insane how
Literally
clean it is.
Hey, you're on the Yammie Noob podcast. Who are we speaking to?
Hey, this is Adam.
Adam, how's it going, man?
Pretty good.
Good. Where are you calling from?
I'm in Texas. It's kind of like West Texas.
West Texas? Nice.
Yeah.
So what is your question or topic that you wanted to chat about?
Okay, so I've been riding Harleys since I was like 16, so like about 7 years or so. And I'm wanting to get a sport bike just to kind of change it up a little bit to get something new. And I'm really kind of having a hard time figuring out what size I want to get or what bike I want to get.
Well, lucky for you, we have a converted Harley boy sitting right here with us who can maybe walk you through some of that. I guess my first question is, so what Harleys did you ride or do you ride right now?
First one was a Road King, so a bigger cruiser. And then right now I'm doing a Softail Deluxe. And it's a big motor, but it's a smaller bike. It's kind of low to the ground. Because I'm not very tall, so I can't get on a 1,000cc sport bike because I'm going to be barely touching my toes.
Right.
Which I'm not comfortable with.
I think a naked bike might be cool. Do you see yourself going on track with this bike or no?
I think eventually I would like to. It's something I'm definitely interested in.
Okay. I think a naked would be the way to go because we'll kind of narrow this down over time. So I think getting you on a naked would be better than a super sport or a super bike just because of the seat height. Those have a more approachable seat height. Do you like the kind of torque and powers that your Harley has, or do you want something that kind of revs out higher, something totally different?
I don't know, because I've never really tried anything but Harleys. I've tried riding like a 650 whatever at Family Power Sports, whatever it was, but I do like the torque, though. It is something pretty fun.
Okay.
So yeah, if you're thinking, because there's nothing like having, 110, 118 foot-pounds right when you crack the throttle open.
It's rad.
Unfortunately, not a lot of sport bikes give you that. It's much more of a, work for it kind of bike. So if you want a little bit more immediate torque, that's definitely the naked bike world. But for me, I went from a Harley to a naked to a fully fared motorcycle. There's just so many different engine configurations in the sport bikes. So if you really want to work for your power, you get an inline 4. If you want something that's got a little bit more power everywhere, there's a V4. Triples are just awesome, of course.
I think... Do you want like a European bike or do you want a Japanese bike? What are you kind of thinking?
I'm open to anything. Just
open for anything.
All
right.
Trying different things.
I think to give you like a really kind of unique experience, something sporty, something that you could still take on track. Part of me does want to say Street Triple, but I think something like the Street Triple or the KTM 790 would be super fun because they're real punchy down low, like your Harleys, but they're going to give you that sport bike kind of fun flavor and character, and they're super nimble and really agile motorcycles.
Okay.
And they're making like 110, 115 horsepower, so it's going to be like you're going from a bike where it's all about torque to one where it's all about high-end horsepower.
Yeah.
You're really going to feel the difference there.
Yeah,
but the good thing about the KTM and the Street Triple is it has the mid-range, so you're not going to be having to rev it out to 10, 12, 15,000 RPM or whatever it is. Like you could be 6,000 RPM in traffic and really just hit the throttle, and it's really going to make you move.
Yep.
That would be my option. That'd be my choice. If you wanted to go Japanese, the Z900 is a cool bike. I think those are kind of underrated right now, honestly. So yeah, I'd say one of those for sure.
You said it was a B900?
Z900, like Z, the Kawasaki.
Okay, I'm writing these down as you are telling me.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I think either one of those, the Street Triple, the KTM 790. Honestly, the KTM 790 would be good because they're coming out with the 890, and you could probably get a really good deal on an old one that's sitting on the lot.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I don't think you couldn't go wrong with any of those bikes, honestly. Like,
No.
They're all really cool.
Yeah, I never even thought about getting a naked bike. I've always just I like the stylings of like sport bikes and stuff. So, but if you're saying I'm having more fun, I guess more.
You'll have
diversity,
way
I
more
guess,
fun in a naked than you will a super sport on the street, for
Absolutely.
sure. Yeah, they're my choice for the street, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. And like, how do they do on like the highway and stuff?
Oh, really well. Yeah, you're gonna get a little more kind of wind buffeting. I don't know if your Harleys right now have like a big windscreen or not, but you're gonna get a little bit more punch in the wind, but it's really not that bad.
Yeah, no, they don't buzz, they don't really shake. The biggest change for me was just the difference in seating position. So if you have foot forwards on your soft tail, you're gonna basically be leaned a little bit more into the wind. Now that may actually help you, as much as it might seem like it's not. If you're leaned forward, the wind will just go down, whereas if you're kind of sat back, cruiser style, it's just going to hit you in the chest and go every which way.
Yeah, for sure. Because my dad, like me and my dad share the bikes. I ride it the most. So he likes riding with the windscreen on, and I like riding with it off just because, I don't know, I like the way it looks better.
Yeah, the windscreen on is full like dad mode for sure.
Yeah.
Well, cool, man. I hope that helps. Those are some pretty good options, and I hope that kind of helps out in your search. I would definitely go and try to ride all three of them because those are all really different bikes, and you'll see which ones you like more. And then, yeah, whatever one you like, kind of on paper, whatever one feels cool to you, just go and get it. That's the bike you want.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. And I want to steer away from the Harley like purist type of thing, and really like. Everything is fun to ride. I mean,
dude, yeah. Motorcycles are all fun. If they got two wheels and an engine, they're fun. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, cool, man. It was fun talking to you. Hope you have fun on your journey picking a new bike, and stay safe out there.
Yeah, thanks. You too.
All right, later, man.
Bye.
I feel like we were able to help that guy out pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a solid one. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up our call-in section. Now we're going to move on to the It Came From Craigslist to look at some wretched motorcycles. As usual, we're wrapping up today's show with some particularly egregious and ridiculous motorcycles off of Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace, as brought to us by our Discord members. If you want a chance to join up on our call-in section on our Discord or give us some news that we can check out for the week, hit the link down below to yammie.co and you can sign up and join us on our Discord. But let's check out these ridiculous bikes. Fight. What is the first one we got here?
The first one, I think, is a repeat offender.
Oh, I know this bike.
Now, I'm curious if this is the same owner trying to sell it, or if this guy bought it and was like, oh my God, this thing's horrific and I need to get rid of it.
It's gotta be the same guy. And this definitely was reposted because this was posted 23 days ago. So yeah, this bike I remember from an old Craigslist video from I think 2 years ago on a Cleveland video, because Cleveland, as you guys know, I think is one of the craziest Craigslist I've ever seen. And this was posted 23 days ago, so it's now back. So to your point, I don't know if it's the same guy or if it's someone that bought it, but I think it's the same guy.
I mean, it's the same, like, this is a,
Let's get
bizarre
a
motorcycle dealership. I mean, just look at the bikes in the background.
That was I remember this photo. It's the same guy. It's got because it's the same photo. So I was like, he's got like 3 of them. They're all the same with these crazy paint schemes. Jimi Hendrix hanging out in the middle there, just existing for some reason on multiple places on this bike, by the way. He's down at the bottom. He's down near the heads. Truly unbelievable. Jim Morrison here in the corner. Jimmy again back. He really likes Jimmy. He's there everywhere. I will say, you gotta free Jimmy. Why is he stuck in there? Free his soul from inside of this goddamn motorcycle. The wheels are painted. Do you notice that?
Yep.
The wheels are color matched to the rest of it. Not a good look. Not a good look. I love how whatever isn't green is chrome too. Yes.
Like,
I'm shocked the seat isn't green. They should have made the seat green too.
yeah.
They were probably like about to do it, then they're like, "This is too tough. Like, we can't airbrush this one, boys. This one's gonna be." Dude, the bars are green. You see that?
Right there.
Oh my God! Let's see if we can get another photo of the bars there.
Oh,
That's
there's
just
a nice
close-up.
shouting skull for you.
Shouting wizard skull. Yeah, the bars and the forks are green.
This is in some dude's garage now.
Oh God.
This makes me think somebody bought it. Now that it's in just your random garage.
Maybe
with like
someone
weird
bought it and he
art.
was like, you know what? I don't really love this thing.
I think I made a mistake.
I think I made a mistake here with my green swing arm.
Oh, but there's Jimmy again.
Jimmy's in the back. Is he on the gas tank too with
Yup.
the mermaid hair?
Let's see if we can get a close-up. There it is.
There he is. Mermaid hair Jimmy on the gas tank.
They even got the gas cap too, man.
Son of a bitch. No, nothing is safe. God damn.
What a just, oh man.
I'm so glad this came back because I remember this bike when I first looked at it. This is all coming back to me now. I will say this, like as horrible as I think it looks, they went through with it. You know,
Yeah.
execution is a 10 out of 10 because they did it. You know what I mean? They truly went and did it, and the execution is a 10 out of 10. The taste is a 0 out of 10. For me.
Yeah.
Like my God, look at that. What's he yelling at? Why is he so angry?
Good Lord.
What does the description say for this bike?
Harley Evo motor, 23,000 miles, new tranny, clutch, brakes, airbrush tribute to Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot.
Not a whole lot. I guess it's a Harley because it's a Harley Evo motor, right? So.
Well, I mean, it might just be an Evo motor in this atrocious frame because it's called the Big Dog Bulldog.
Yeah, 04, so I guess that's the age of it. Maybe it's
Yeah.
2004. The Big Dog Bulldog. Cleveland, always bringing it to us as usual. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's see the next one, though, because the next one's a real special gem, isn't it?
The next one is just someone's dumpster find.
Yeah.
It's
There's so much going on here. So this is what, a 1965 Harley Servitrike? Or
Cervicar trike. That they want $8,500 for.
Yeah, no way in hell anyone would pay $8,500 for that thing. Did they make these factory or did he build this into this?
It must have been some factory trike because I've seen a handful of these around and I've seen some that are actually in like legitimately good shape.
Really?
Which makes me think that it wasn't just somebody's backyard build.
Yeah.
And that frame doesn't look like it's been too molested.
Yeah.
So without being knowledgeable, I would assume that this was a factory machine at
But I
one
mean, look
point.
at the state of it. I mean, it's completely rusted out. You're missing case covers on the engine. It probably hasn't ran in, God, near 30 years, you know?
That tire is probably 30 years old. I've
tire's
never
probably
seen
factory,
a tread
yeah.
pattern like that before.
That is insane.
Look at the rear differential
The differential
here.
situation. Is the differential even attached to the engine? It doesn't look
Nope,
like it is.
It doesn't have any final drive.
So that's the thing. You're paying. I mean, God, look at Jesus Christ. So you're paying $8,500 for something that needs a complete restoration. To me, this is worth like $500.
It's got new spark plugs though.
That's very important. Yeah, I mean, it's so beat up. And that's, I guess, the cover for the trike part, right?
Yeah, and I mean, it's got holes and dents and it's rusted and, oh man.
Yeah, to pay $8,500 for it is ridiculous for this project. But let's see what they have to say about it. Let's see here.
I think this guy wrote a college dissertation.
Oh boy,
down
we're gonna
there.
have to skim through this one. So just lower the price, your chance to put together. Oh, my chance to put together. Wow, thank you so much. It's my chance to put it together because you're not gonna do it, right? Nice winter project and a fun ride this spring. Why don't you do it, you piece of shit? Why are you telling me what to do? I have almost all the parts you'll need to restore it to its former glory. Many new and good old parts. It's an original Harley Springer front end install, blah, 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 Cervicar, da-da-da-da-da. It'll look cool if you put Ford chrome rims or mags with fat tires that stick out of the fenders. You know what? You goddamn boomer. I'm not gonna do that. Go f*** yourself.
I gotta love, first of all, it's the Harley Davidson meter-made Cervicar, and then he claims he could go 70 miles an hour on it. I would not want to go anywhere close to I wouldn't want to go 30 miles.
I wouldn't want to go 10 miles per hour on it, but my favorite thing about it, look at the condition. It's fair. Yeah, dude, I mean, right? It's fair. Yeah.
In a manner of speaking.
It's somewhat fair. Yeah, Jesus, man. I mean, some people are just so delusional on these websites, right?
Yeah.
Like $8,500 for this. No.
Maybe he thinks it's just because it's an antique that he can charge whatever he wants.
Maybe, yeah.
But he had to put the block in front of the tire so it wouldn't roll down the driveway.
Yeah.
So it's just...
It's a ground up restoration for that thing, man. Like, you're gonna have to take every single bolt out of it and rebuild the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna get away with just doing like a kind of a half-assed job restoring it. It won't run.
No way.
You know? So yeah, terrible listing. Delusional listing for sure.
Yep.
What do we got up next?
The next one, it's another trike.
Another trick, but this one is, if you thought the other one was delusional, this is a next level delusional over here.
I mean, just look at it.
It's a dually truck. And the more you look at it, the crazier it gets, which is my favorite kind of Craigslist listing. So it's got the Ducati 999 double headlight Cyclops thing going, which is really sick.
He's got half a little windshield right here.
Yeah.
I like how his seats are like stadium seats too.
Yeah.
Some sort of like future office setting he just pulled the backs off of.
This is the best part though.
Yep.
It's got a goddamn steering wheel.
And not just a steering wheel, but a big old tractor steering wheel too.
Unbelievable. Do you really think that works? Do you think that that's how you can turn that bike?
Yeah. I believe that is how you're going to be turning that motor vehicle.
Yeah, motor vehicle. Where is the steering? Is it up here?
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be something in there that like a little servo or something that drives it. But
what's that sticking out of it?
that would be your shifter. That is a suicide shifter right there.
No way! Wow.
That would be your suicide shifter.
It is like a tractor. Unbelievable.
But look at these tires back here.
Look at the exhaust over here.
Yeah.
What's in this thing? A V8?
It looks like it.
Oh my God. Talk about a death trap. You got stadium seats, a tractor steering wheel, and oh my God, and bicycle tires in the rear.
It's probably, okay, so we see 2 bicycle tires there. Can we assume there's another 2 on the other side?
Maybe there's only one.
We don't know because the guy couldn't be bothered to pull it out of his garage.
That's, yeah, truly telling. And go back really quick and let's see how much he wants for it. $35,000. That's 3 zeros followed by the 35 there. This is amazing. We got to read this in full. Okay, so 2009 custom-made dually trike. Only one in the world like this. Yeah, no shit. No shit. Talk of the town. Current tag, clean title, no motorcycle license needed. Well, yeah, because there's nothing motorcycle about it. No smog required. Always garaged. Yeah, because he didn't pull it out. Asking $35,000 OBO. Features. 1999 Geo Metro 4-cylinder engine. What the What? So I was like, oh, it's a V8 because it's got the 4 pipes. It's got 4 pipes on the other side.
Just a inline 4.
It's a Geo Metro 4-cyl. That's like the worst 4-cyl ever. A 2000 Saab automatic transmission, so it's not a suicide shift, or maybe you put it into gear through that lever. Built-in suspension on the seats, front and rear seat. A hardtail. Steering wheel, not handlebar. Towing package. It gets crazier the more you read. A trailer, dually on the back, built-in air suspension on the dually, stainless steel cup holders. What?
Because you got to advertise the cup holders here in America.
Small radiator in the front. Oh, great, because I really don't want it to be cooled correctly. It runs and drives smoothly. I doubt that, dude. There's no way that's a smooth ride.
I love how he calls it a head turner and a movie maker.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to turn heads, but for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah. Oh my God. The thing about it is, like, if you were selling this thing for $5,000, I'd be like, F it. Why not? Yeah. I might get it. It's so insane. But 35 G's? Come on, man. Like, you could buy all kinds of shit for 35 grand. You get a lightly used Panigale V4R for 35 grand, you know? This is absolutely ridiculous. A Geo Metro 4-cylinder engine in this piece of shit is crazy. Wait, what, you got anything else to say about this?
Just throw it off a cliff.
Seriously,
turn it into
man.
Just crush it into a cube. It needs to go away.
It's like that meme where the guy's like from Jurassic Park. He's like, oh, your scientists never bother to ask if they should or something like that. Yeah, you put the clip in there because I can't remember it correctly. Unbelievable. Yeah, I don't even know what kind of bike it is. It's just custom-made dually trike. It probably has a hodgepodge of parts. Well, clearly it's a Geo Metro 4-cylinder and a Saab automatic transmission. Incredible.
Just, oh boy.
Yeah. All right, what do we got up next?
Well, now we transition from Craigslist to everybody's favorite, Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook is a special kind of show, to be honest.
And we start at the top with this 2007 Suzuki 250 for $700.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, this is an acceptable motorcycle.
I mean, it's $700, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I think I've ordered exhaust that cost more than that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's not going to be fast. It's not going to go far. But it will get you on two wheels, and it costs less than, you know, a couple of car payments.
Yeah.
So, sure, if you're desperate to get on two wheels, this is a decent place to start.
Let's zoom in on the photos and see if we can kind of spot some horribleness about it, because it looks relatively clean. I don't think we can zoom out here
That's
yet.
as zoomed in as we get.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, from these sort of low-res photos, I think if it starts, runs, and stops, you're in good shape for $700.
A little bit of gooch juice on that seat.
That's
there.
a little bit of that goose juice right there, patent pending. Yeah.
I mean, the paint is in fairly remarkable condition, honestly. I'd expect a 250 like this to just be left in somebody's barn to rust.
Yeah, honestly.
You know, but it looks like a good little itty bitty baby cruiser.
Yeah, this I would say competes with, you know, like the Yamaha Star Bolt 250. I think they make. I don't think they make it anymore, but I've seen those before. The little baby V twin.
The old Rebel 250s.
Even the 300.
I mean, this is a parallel twin.
Is it 2-cylinder?
Yep.
Okay.
So I mean, this is.
Are you sure it's a 2-cylinder?
Yep. There's definitely two.
I don't see the second pipe. I think I just see
two right there.
Oh, that is two. Yeah, I thought that was part of the frame. Yeah, so a little baby parallel twin. Where's that engine from?
The fevered dream of a madman.
What was Suzuki making in 2007 that had a parallel twin 250? I thought they only made singles. No, is the GSX 250, right?
I'm not
That's a
familiar.
parallel twin, I think. I think that's the same engine. Because they still make it today, the GSX 250R, the little baby Gixxer.
But that's a single now.
No, it's a parallel twin.
Oh my God! It's a tiny little. Oh,
I think it is
Suzuki.
I think it's a parallel twin. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So this might be that same engine over in life. Yeah.
But you know what's interesting about this? It doesn't have drums up front. It's actually got like a proper disc.
That's surprising.
It's got a drum in the back.
I mean, it's an 07, so I mean, I would be surprised if it had a drum up front. You know, that'd be pretty wretched. But it's got a disc.
Yeah.
Not bad.
For $700? Sure, why not?
Sure. Now the next one, though.
It's the Super Magna, the Cruiser VFR.
Oh, okay.
It's part of one.
Yeah. So there's a Magna in there somewhere. Again, another one of these guys that refuses to even roll it out of the garage to take photos of it.
Yep, he's just like stepping over all of his generators and garbage and coolers and stuff.
To me, when I see stuff like this, it's like, okay, you're obviously, this is a shit bike, but you're trying to market it as if it's not that bad, you know? Because if you actually put it out in daylight and take photos of it, I'm sure a lot more stuff would come to light, you know?
I love this. Super firm on price.
For $2,950. Okay, sure you are.
Honda 1987 Super Magna 700cc, one owner, so he bought it and destroyed it. Climate control stored since new, custom paint job, 18K miles, I'm assuming.
Yeah, ask questions. No, I think I'll pass.
And he named it.
Christine?
He named it, and then put a little car on the gas tank.
What the hell?
Well,
Well, it certainly is a single boomer owner, right?
I mean, this is... They don't even have the decency to tell you that it ran at one point.
Or like what parts they have on hand for it. I mean, apparently the gas tank they have. Yeah, this is a pass for me, man. I wouldn't touch the thing with a 10-foot pole. Yeah, let's see the next one.
The 2000 Honda SS.
This might be one of the most wretched little bikes I've ever seen ever. $300, dude. Yeah, $300. That's insane.
We only got the two just like improperly taken photos, but look at that seat right there. It's more duct tape than foam.
Yeah, this bike really, to me, looks like the little bikes that you see in Mexico and Brazil, like the little Moto Boy bikes that people use to just get around, like really poor and impoverished people just like trying to get from point A to point B. They don't care how it happens. This is a bike like that. We were looking up this bike earlier online, just trying to find out something about it, and we couldn't even really find what this bike is.
No, I don't know if it's a 50. I don't know if it's a 250. We cannot tell what this motorcycle is.
And because of these angles too, I actually can't tell how small or big it is, but it looks very diminutive. It looks like a very tiny bike. It might be a 50, honestly.
Yep.
Because it's so tiny. Just absolutely wretched. But look at the gas tank is dented, the duct tape all over the seats.
That looks like a little wire hanging down the back. I mean, there's very obviously a reason we don't see this side of this motorcycle.
Yeah. This is just something that unfortunately just belongs in the dumpster. Like, honestly, like at some point you have to realize, like, if you've gotten a bike to this point, it's like it is spent beyond repair.
Yep.
Like it is done. Call it a day. It's over.
Just take it out back and put a round in its head. It's just done.
It's done. Yeah, a little $300. I wouldn't even spend $300 on this thing. Why? This would just be a fucking eyesore,
I mean, you couldn't, let's say you bought it for $300. If you put another $300, it still wouldn't look presentable.
No.
If you put another $300 in there, maybe, okay, fine. But then you've dumped $600 into a piece of
and who knows how many hours, you know what I mean? Like just trying to make this thing into something. Start from a little bit better of a space than this one. You can do a little bit better than this.
Yep.
And let's look at our last bike for today.
This one I think is a little legendary here.
This is one of my favorite things. It's like someone just threw it off of a cliff and they were like, I need this thing gone. This looks like a body dumped somewhere in a corner. Like, this is the saddest picture of a bike I've ever seen. And this is the only picture they have of it, right?
Yup, this is the only thing. It's some like clapped out, stunted out, because you can see the wheelie bar there. Some sort of just horribly abused R6. And if you look carefully, there's the 4 headers. Right there. No exhaust on there.
I'm sure there's bugs just living in there.
It's
like,
just
who knows
headers
how
back.
Long it's been there. This looks like, honestly, you know what this looks like to me? It looks like someone crashed this bike and they're like, F it, and they just put it up on Facebook Marketplace, same day, same moment, didn't file an insurance claim, didn't call the cops, didn't do anything, didn't call an ambulance. They're like, I'm just gonna sell it, screw it.
Apparently it just needs new plastics.
Oh yeah, that's all it needs. Yeah, it doesn't need a whole new exhaust system to be pulled out of this ditch. God. I love how it was like it ran when I parked. Is that how he parked it? He just threw it on the ground. Oh my God.
This is just...
It's bad. It's really bad.
And he has the gall to charge $1,000 for it.
You should pay me to come get it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I shouldn't pay you for that. You should pay me to come take it off of whatever ditch you have it in.
Like, that's your haul away fee right there.
Yeah, seriously. Like, if I were to bring my truck and take that bike out, like, you need to pay me to come get it. Yeah, terrible. And Facebook listings are just unbelievably bad, dude. Unbelievably bad. Yeah, I think that's all we need to say about this little Yamaha. So thanks so much for tuning in to episode number 2 of the Yamcast, guys. Hope you had some fun. If you like what we're doing, hit subscribe. Be sure to leave us a comment below for things you'd like to see on the podcast, because we're kind of still figuring out like how we're doing the show. It's going better every time we're doing it. So feel free to leave a comment down below. If you want to join up on the fun, go to yammienoob.co and join us on the Discord there and join us for the podcast. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Remember to ride in 6 GAR and keep it easy. See you later.